Hello guys, so back with another review, and today I wanted to talk about a fragrance from the brand Micallef. And I wanted to do this review for a couple of reasons. This is one of my favorite fragrance houses. I think they really excel at creating just well composed, natural smelling, high quality and smooth, versatile types of scents. So I do like them for that reason, and I think the fragrance Royal Vintage it's compared to Aventus, but I think it's actually better, or at the very least, it's a little different. It's a different take, and I think it's very good in its own right. One of my favorite all-time scents. So I've also reviewed Jewel for him, which I thought was a great scent as well. So they don't tend to miss a lot for me personally. So the fragrance I have here today is called Osaito. It's from their masculine line. I also want to do this review because I couldn't find many reviews of this on YouTube. I know that some of you probably are looking at this scent. It is available because it's not as popular as some of the others from the brand. You can buy this right now at discounters for a really good price, meaning about half the price, or like $110, $115, which I think is a great buy. But I want to tell you all about this scent. So the main takeaway from this scent is, for me personally, when I first tried it out, I was really surprised by just the pleasant smell, and I think it's just a really instantly likable scent. At the same time, as I wore it more and more, there were a couple issues I had with it, and the main one is that it didn't really have a wow factor for me. So it wasn't challenging enough. There wasn't something so unique or different enough for me personally, and so I realized I got kind of bored by it, despite it smelling so nice. I don't think there's really gonna be anyone that is gonna say it doesn't smell good, and I think you're gonna get good reactions from it. It's just that it's just very clean, very floral. I wouldn't say washed out, but it's a watery, simple kind of scent, and pretty linear. So this review I'm gonna do a little differently, because instead of only breaking down this scent, it actually gets compared to, I have a decant of Creed's Millesime Imperial. So on Fragrantica, this probably drew the most comparisons, and so I wanted to compare this scent, because when I first tried Osaito, I wasn't immediately reminded of Millesime Imperial, which was interesting, and so I was surprised that so many people were referring to this. Now, as I'm smelling it side by side, and you really have to smell it side by side, I do see the comparison, but to be honest, I think it's really about 50% resemblance, and I can see the comparison. The main similarity is this opening, and not just the opening, but the overall profile. There is this melon-like accord, and neither of these scents has melon as a note, official note, but it kind of creates that aura, if you will. So this one, I just sprayed it, but yeah, so I'm not gonna reapply it, or you know what, just to get that opening down. Yeah, so both Osaito and Millesime Imperial are basically marine scents. They're meant to be marine and evoke the sea and freshness, aquatic saltiness. So off the bat, you get that. This particularly Osaito, for me, has a really cool, almost cold feel. It's so refreshing up top. And really, there is that sea accord. Basically, it seems more to me like a sea breeze. It really opens up. It's lush. At the same time, it's more floral than anything. So to me, the sort of this floral heart comes out very prominently, and that really takes up the body of the fragrance. and it becomes kind of a main player for me. Basically, the citrus, there is citrus to kind of give it the brightness. It's supposed to have notes of myrtle and crisp marine, which is supposed to have like it's also called sea fennel. It's supposed to have a carrot-like scent or a licorice-like scent. So that's blended into the heart, and then a base of sandalwood and amber. And I can see where the amber note is integrated here. Don't think of your traditional amber scents. It is just forming a base for the scent. So this scent feels richer while being a floral, and I would say it gives off a really white floral smell. So it feels, I don't know, I'm kind of on the fence. It feels unisex. At times it feels a little more masculine. At times it feels a little more feminine. So I guess it's unisex, but it can have, depending on your take on these notes, it can give you different impressions in terms of whether it leans unisex or feminine or masculine, depending on what you pick up more. But if you focus on the floral feel of the scent, I think it smells very full and almost narcotic, like white florals can be. It's very I don't know, it's very in your face. So that aspect can smell more feminine, and some people might interpret it that way. But the overall scent, because of the base notes, it's pretty well balanced. So let's compare it to Millesime Imperial. I think, so if you don't smell it side by side, you get the resemblance because of the citrus marine accord combined with a slight muskiness and a sandalwood base, which is common to both scents. But other than that, especially as it dries down, this stays pretty linear. Millesime Imperial turns into something else, in my opinion. I mean, there's not a huge transformation, but the ingredients are different enough that the smells diverge. And Millesime Imperial, I mean, I can't tell you which smells better because I think it's a personal preference, but quality is pretty similar. But yeah, I think I'm not even the biggest fan of Millesime Imperial in the Creed line. It's just not my kind of scent. It doesn't, again, have as much of a wow factor for me in the Creed line. But again, Creed they just make pleasant, likable scents that are high quality, and I think they're actually kind of unique and well made. Each one with its own characteristic, and same with Millesime Imperial. So I respect it for that reason, and I do think the composition a little more went into it, a little more thought than Osaito, despite both being just relatively seeming like simple marine scents. I think there's more in the construction of Millesime Imperial, because there is something there that it's blended in such a way I can't really pick it up. I can't really put a finger on it. What note is giving off that? What note exactly? But pretty much, is this kind of almost. There's a woodiness that's kind of not as prominent in Osaito to me, because, like I said, the heart kind of, is real. The floral notes is it really in your face. Here, there is more that woodiness and a more muskiness, something more animalic in the Creed signature musk that is common to other freshies from Creed, like Irolfa too. So there is that kind of, it's not even a masculine, no, it's just a muskiness that is nice, that I think makes the fragrance something more than just a room scent, right? It makes it it gives it the artistic quality to the scent. So there is that, and then Millesime Imperial is more focused on the fruitiness. It's almost like a slight bit of a fruity cocktail mixed in with this musky, these musky undertones. This woodiness gives it like structure. The saltiness it feels saltier than the other because I think it's more because of the musk, and it has kind of this punchiness that you don't get in the other one. So in some ways, the Osaito is smoother, not as abrasive, but you know, I think this Millesime Imperial, of course, smells very high quality, rich, and rich meaning the ingredients. Yeah, and I mean, it almost has a spicy character mixed in. And it's not that it's certain spices that I'm smelling, but this peppery nuance is sort of blended into Millesime Imperial that gives it the overall uniqueness, better, more layers to the fragrance. I was gonna say better balance, but they're both just well-rounded scents, but just more layers, more depth to the scent. So yeah, I think from that standpoint, Millesime Imperial is better. But you also, you know, paying a lot more for it based on retail prices. You know, if you want a fresh scent, if you want a marine scent, you could go with either of these. And if you don't mind, as a guy wearing florals, you know, even though it's not described as one of the main aspects of the scent, I think it really, you have to think of it almost like a white floral type of scent. But don't be turned away necessarily. It is, in the end, it's a very breezy aquatic scent. So that is the main accord, in addition to the floral feel. It just has a softness about it that's usually in white floral type of fragrances. Not powdery, but just, yeah, airy and soft. So, and then Millesime Imperial, it's more like you could feel the ocean. You could feel the waves crashing a little bit more. It's a little more of the roughness, the earthiness mixed in. So it's more interesting from that standpoint. So there you go, guys. Yeah, I'm glad I had a chance to talk about this. I was on the fence about reviewing it because I didn't know if I had much to say about this, but since I was comparing it to Millesime Imperial, I found out it is interesting to think about and to smell both side by side and tell you guys about it. So hope you guys enjoyed that. I'll see you in the next reviews. Bye.